What's going on, LinkedIn? I just had an amazing idea for today's segment. I actually am doing some work for a client that I'm able to show you because it reveals no secret or proprietary information. And in building on yesterday's segment, I thought it would be a great idea to show you exactly some of the things that can go into just a single task and why your idea of time is convoluted, right? We think of small, menial tasks as being things that are just that, menial. And so we don't usually take into account the time that it takes to actively complete one of these tasks that you're looking for, right? So I figured I'd show you one, a very great way to DIY and do this yourself so that you can understand one, exactly what level of work goes into this kind of execution. And then also be able to just show you exactly what your someone that would be a freelancer or virtual assistant for you, whoever you're hiring, exactly the process that they're going to take. And again, I'm showing you the fastest possible way. And this is only made possible because we have, AI now. However, I'm going to do a screen share and I'm going to show you exactly how we are working for some clients. So this is a live client that we are actively working with. They are doing something for one of their clients, and we're tasked with making sure that gets done because they run a business. They're extremely busy, and that's the purpose of outsource, to be able to outsource work as a business owner whenever you need to for whatever client that you need to. So I'm going to jump in here and show you exactly how tasks, especially ones that are administrative or that a lot of business owners deem menial, are much more than menial. And I'm going to kind of explain my thought process as I go through this. So what we're looking at here is going to be what we're looking at right here is a spreadsheet of potential speaking opportunities. Let's turn this brightness up. So as we're looking at these potential speaking opportunities, this is what we're trying to, analyze what the client needs and how we're going to accomplish that. So currently, what the client needs is a list. Let's just call it 30 to 4 opportunities for their client to overview and see where they'd like to speak at. Now, this is where a lot of business owners aren't thinking about how long and the actual process that it takes to execute and complete anything. Now, obviously, this is just one task, but I want you to take the principle into every other task, project, or role that you're going to be working, outsourcing for or hiring for. So let's take a look at the actual request. The actual request is for our client to have a list of 30 to 40 different speaking engagement opportunities. That's going to mean speaker panels at conferences, speaker guest opportunities on a podcast, career and job fairs, panels that are looking for other business owners or people to speak at their particular event. But right now, just to keep things sweet, short, and simple, let's just call these, we're looking for live events, AKA conferences, or podcast engagement speaking opportunities. So let's start with the very first step of what has to happen. One, you have to go and find all of these events. Now, I have a list of events here that I'm working with. Some of these are, as you can see, are podcasts, aka they're online. And I'm filling out what is going to be the actual live events and where those events are located, as well as making sure that they have the speaker link so that the client is able to actively apply for the speaking engagements that they'd like to apply to. Now, let's break this down into different steps. Step one is making sure that we actually have the events. So how long does it take to just find events that someone can speak at? Now, obviously, you can go through a list of events in your head like Black Tech Conference, South by Southwest, TED Talks. All of those are big national things that are going to require work in different amounts of legwork subsequently in order to provide additional information. So what I did, again, showing how fast this can be, what I did was I used AI. Now, as you can see, we actually are at our AI limit in this particular chat for the day because this entire research project that we're doing, if you will, or research task took up that much time or that much work and content. So the very first thing that we're doing, especially because this is either going to be done in Google or ChatGPT, is let's cut down a lot of the legwork BS stuff, the stupid searching as we'll call it right now. Let's cut out all of that stupid searching, go straight to exactly what we're looking for. So I put in a ChatGPT request to find us some speaking engagements, particular conferences, live events, podcasts that have speaking engagements available, and to also make sure that they pull the submission form. Back in the day, or anytime pre-Chat GPT, we would have to actively search online, meaning I'm going to show you what we would have to do. We'd have to go to google.com. After we're at google.com, we're going to, let's just say we want to speak at South by Southwest. So we are trying to speak at South by Southwest, and we know that we want to speak at South by Southwest. So let's look at speaker submission deadlines. Now, mind you, this is only going to work for the organizations that we know that we would like to speak at. This is not counting all of the additional live events and things that are going to go on that we have no knowledge of. So the very first thing we have to do is just look at the very first link. This is South by Southwest. Let's look at what their deadlines are. So not only are we currently waiting for that website to load, not only are we searching for, South by Southwest, not only are we now looking for all of these, looking for the actual speaker link, but now we have to make sure that this is now applied. So we can see participation for June 25 South by Southwest. Applications are open. So let's go to this particular application section. And again, we're going to wait for this to load. And we still have not seen an actual application. So now we're going to kind of scroll down through here, looking for the actual South by Southwest application. All right, so we see that the final deadline is October 27th. It's for South by Southwest, which means this is going to be a perfect opportunity for our client. So we are not looking for any kind of music. We don't want to apply for music. So now we have to continue looking for the actual application for South by Southwest. See, this is pitch for music, film and festival. Nope, South by Southwest pitch. This is global startup, so we're probably not looking for that. Let's see. So let's just input this entire list because we don't know exactly what they're going to be looking for. So let's just put this whole list. Right? Good. Now we need to know it's March 7th through the 15th. So we also need to make sure that we input March 7th to the 15th. And we know that South by Southwest is, I believe, in Texas. Let's just double check. Southwest 2025 location. Austin, Texas. So we know it's in Austin, Texas. So here we're going to list this as Texas. And we know that we're going to go South by Southwest. Now, all of that work that we just did was to find one event, one speaker submission, one date, in one location. We need to do that same process for 30 to 40 different speaking opportunities. Not to mention, they're currently looking for speaking opportunities for Q4. So we're looking at speaking opportunities that are happening for the rest of the year, as well as Q1 of 2025. Here's where it gets difficult. We are in August of 2024. So that means any event that's happening throughout the rest of 2024 most likely is already booked and already has their speakers. 3 to 6 months is the trail line for speakers. So if you're someone that was looking to, be a speaker at an event, you're going to want to get started now in terms of looking for 3 to 6 months in advance. So just keep that in mind when you're doing a task just like this. How far in advance? From the perspective of your virtual assistant, your freelancer, whatever person that you are hiring, they have to have the foreknowledge to think ahead and then say, okay, well, 3 months is going to be September, October, November. So that means minimum, most likely, any event that we would be able to sign up for in August that has a deadline of August 31st is probably going to be September, October, November, minimum November, December-ish. Everything in September and October, unless it's a very, very, very local event or a podcast, is probably going to have their guest speakers booked already. So that's why we now have to continue looking for 30 to 40 other events that this person can speak at and repeat this process down the line, which is why we have cut a lot of that stuff out the way by doing our research on ChatGPT. Again, this is the information that the smaller business owners are going to want to make sure that you pay note to, because this is exactly what you're going to be doing for a lot of different things. So if you're a small business owner and you would like to have participate in a speaking engagement, if you're a small business owner that is looking for leads, right? If you're looking to generate leads and you need to cold email, cold call, and get lists of companies and clients and things of that nature, you're going to want to do research. Again, this process of finding information or collecting data and then entering that data into some kind of software. In this particular case, we're just using a simple Google Drive spreadsheet, but entering that data into something, Google Drive spreadsheet, CRM, your accounting software like QuickBooks or Wave, whatever data that you are searching for, information that you are then placing into a location so that you have it in a centralized location so that you can view and see it very easily, so that you can then take action on that step. Now, we've been doing this video for what, maybe 10, 15 minutes? And I did all of these 10, 15 minutes to show you what it takes to do just one line. Now, this has to be repeated 30 to 40 times. Now, mind you, I have been able to cut down a significant portion of time by using ChatGPT because I have that knowledge. You can still do that in Google. It will take you a lot longer to just find those events. So, for example, I don't know how long it would have taken me to find the Global Entrepreneurship Summit of 2024 or 2025 without using ChatGPT. Now, obviously, that information is available somewhere, but how long would it take for you to come across that information? We're looking at trying to make sure we save our clients time as well as capital, aka money. So now I'm going to just quickly and briefly show you how fast this process goes with having the proper setup, with using the proper tools and having the proper knowledge. So just taking this next one, right? Let's see what we have here. What was next? After National Minority Development, which was there. Let's look at Global Entrepreneurship Summit, which we already have listed here because I brought that up for you. So we know that this particular one is being held in Canada. We have no idea where the next one is being held. So what I'm going to do is just type in that with 2025 and then location. So we can see here the Entrepreneurship Summit which is slightly different. So we also have to make sure that we're looking at the proper event. We can see we're going to probably get very similar information. See, this is all stuff for 2024. We're going to use this information for 2025. So we do see that this is in Canada. It's going to be in Toronto. So that means that that previous link probably going to work. All right. So let's see where we can now find the actual speaker submission. So because I asked them to pull the links for the actual speakers, let's see, because they said they were accepting information for 2025. So as we can see, registration deadline is going to be August 18th. I'm assuming that's registration for the actual event. Let's see. Now, again, this is where it can take longer for your virtual assistant or your freelancer, again, whoever you hire, to actively complete the work, because we want to make sure that we're doing a good job. We don't want to just come with BS information. So we know that next year it's likely going to be in August. So we're going to put August 2025. We know that there's for speakers, it's not available yet. And we know that it's going to be in Toronto. So because of that, let us link the speakers for here, or actually just do a quick search on to see if we can continue to find speaker submission. See, we're not seeing anything with submissions. And again, the chat GPT link that we have isn't giving us the information that we're particularly looking for. That will happen sometimes. So I know I said that this would be a shorter, faster version, but as you can see, that's not always going to happen. So remember this video when you are hiring your next person, so that you can keep in mind how long an actual task can take. So this is in Canada. Let's see, 2024, 2023. Let's see what submit abstract is. Oh, here we go. This is, I believe, what we're looking for. So let's add this to our list. We want to make sure this looks neat. We know that this is in Toronto. So let's just copy the date. Let's copy the name. And then we'll input 2025. 2024, 2025, just to give us additional information. Let's just make sure that this is aligned properly. And there we go. That's what it took to do the second one. So this video so far, I've only showcased you doing 2 different lines of information and what went into it. So I hope that this video is able to give you an insight onto how long it takes to actively complete a task. Because again, this has to be done for 30 to 40 different organizations. And this process can be repeated or replicated throughout so many different things, right? So whether you are looking for CRM information from for trying to get client leads, whether you are trying to do your own speaking engagements, even if you were looking for, if you're trying to put on your own live event and you're looking for vendors for a particular event or your own conference that you're hosting, you then have to find your own speakers. So you're probably going to have to create a list of speakers that you're going to outreach to, sponsors for events. All of these different things have to do with collecting information, storing that information, and then acting upon that information. Now, my question, again, building on what we talked about yesterday, as you are not ready for a virtual assistant, is this is where you kind of know if you're ready for a virtual assistant, right? So again, building off of yesterday's talk about not needing a virtual assistant, this is where we're now going to kind of get into the weeds and the thick, thins, nuances. So this has to be done, right? If you're your own business owner, you're in business for yourself, it's just you, you're going to have to do something like this at some point in time. Now, if you don't feel like doing this, then you should probably hire somebody. But if you have the time to do this and don't feel like doing this, but will complain about the money or cost it would take to do this, then you're not ready for a virtual assistant. Because my question, especially as the owner of a business, because a lot of people conflate being a business owner with having a high status, and meaning that your time is automatically worth more because you're a business owner. And that's not true. That is not the case at all. So my question to you is, as a business owner, as someone that would have to have this work done, how long would you sit here and do this for? Is this a task that you could sit here and do all day? How much would you want to be paid for doing a task like this? Mind you, this is very simple. You can think that, oh, this is a $5 per hour task. Now, my question is, are they going to give you the proactivity for that same $5? Are they going to give you the same speed at that $5 per hour? Because now at $5 per hour, you don't know, you can't, it's very hard to ask where you're allocating your time when you're only paying $5 per hour. So if it took them 1 hour to complete and that's $5, and they told you it took them 5 hours for $25, and you're not really concerned about the difference of $20, it might matter for them, but you're still getting beat. So just keep that in mind the next time you think something should be done speed, aka fast, and you're not necessarily sure how to value the time that it should take or value the cost that it should take. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this LinkedIn segment, and I hope we found it valuable. I really do hope I was able to provide some kind of information or value for all of you watching. And I can't wait to come back later and show you some more stuff. All right, I'm out.